Computer. Happy Tuesday, team. Okay, so first things first, I am not Christina Delgado. I did not, which some of you are like, who the hell is that? I don't know who that is anyway. Christina, I've been helping Christina Delgado with a 5-star mastermind group that she is putting on for her team and Moira Kusaba's team. And they were utilizing all the, a bunch of the coaches that went 5-star last year to figure out, like, pick our brain on how we did it and what are our tips and tricks so that they can help their downline also get to 5-star. And then once they put together this whole training, 5-star training, they're going to present it to the whole network. So it's pretty cool. And as a thank you for us helping her, she said that she would agree to be, speak on team calls. And if you don't know who she is a, she's in the top 10 coaches right now. I think she was number 9. She finished at number 9. She is a 10-time elite coach. She has been a coach 10 years, 11 years. I think she's been elite every year she's been a coach. She was actually one of the coaches that I got to hear from in my very first summit. And I was just sharing on Laura's call that I went to my very first summit just a few months after signing up as a coach, knowing nobody. And Fit Club Network, our other, the team that we're all under, they had their own little summit pre-meeting the day before summit started. And Christina and her sister were 2 of the coaches that presented. And Christina was a high-powered attorney who ended up falling in love with Beachbody, creating a successful business, and was able to leave her job, which then in turn I can't remember the order of things, but I learned this at New Leader when she spoke, that her son at about 18 months, or I can't remember how old he was, but was diagnosed with autism and completely changed her life, obviously as a mother and raising an autistic child. And because of Beachbody and her like, not just the income, because she had the income with being an attorney, but the type of care and not training, what's it called? Therapies and different things that her son needed, like she was able to be there for that and give him everything that he needed. And so it's just super cool. And it was like this full circle moment. However, she ended up having to attend a funeral. And so she had to cancel yesterday last minute. And so we will get it rescheduled, but I didn't want to tell you she wasn't going to be on, because for those of you who know her, I was like, I want them to think she's there, so they'll still come to the call. So I wasn't going to tell you till we got on the call. So we will reschedule when she has a different time that works for her and our schedule as well. So it is well worth the wait. She is incredible. She actually just subbed in on the National Wake Up Call this Monday, because one of the coaches on her team's son was not life flighted, but essentially to have emergency appendix surgery the morning she was supposed to be on the National Wake Up Call. So Christina stepped in and gave a phenomenal talk, not only about Success Club, but also the launch of the Gut Protocol coming out this month. So that being said, what I want to talk about tonight, it was funny. I was talking with Laura yesterday or last couple of days, and I have personally been in a funk. Okay. I don't know if anybody else has felt it. I don't know if it's like just a thing that's going on, but I have been in a personal funk with my own journey, my own business. And I feel it a little bit on the team. And so maybe I'm not reading it right, but I really wanted to just put it out there and talk about the freaking funk that I'm feeling and own up to it and share the ways that I am not only going to reinvigorate my life, but my business right now. And so I'm hoping that through my authenticity of where I'm struggling, and maybe you can kind of look at your life, business, if you are struggling, or maybe you didn't think you were, and you're like, oh, maybe this is, whatever. But I wanted to come in here and just really give a pep talk, essentially, because this is what I have been struggling with. So I want to share that I know a lot of you know that I, last year, I resigned from my job. I was able to leave my counseling job and stay home and do Beachbody full time. I was earning a set income. I had a set income that I had to earn, and I had to earn that income in order to be able to resign. And then literally the minute that I resigned, not the minute, it was, a few months later, my income started to decrease monthly. And not by a lot, but it was just like times changed. The new school year, kids were back in school, but not back, with masks and all these different things in different places, and like the business kind of shifted a little bit. Like everybody felt it, like in the fall, like in the fall is always a kind of a downtime, because moms, as they're getting their kids back to school and getting ready, they're trying to figure out their new normal and their routines. And that's my avatar. My niche is busy moms, and trying to get them to take care of themselves. And is that Laura coming in hot and not muting herself? Just kidding. And so weird, everybody's muted. I don't know where that's coming from. Okay. Anyway, and so our team pushed for elite. It was a very hard push at the end of the year. Things just kind of tended to go down. Job one, I was in the test group, started to kind of go back up a little bit. December was a better month. We hit elite, which was so amazing. We ended the year as a 137 team out of 400,000 or something crazy like that. And I felt on top of the world. And then the new year started, and you're thinking, oh, new year, everybody's going to be on this health kick, and everybody's going to be, and it wasn't. Like we ran this incredible free health bet that I think helped so many people. It was a huge success in terms of getting people started on their journeys and making significant changes that were actually small changes, but that made significant, led up to significant results. But it was a free group. And so, we had all this interaction and all this great, engagement and stuff going on. And then we tried to shift and go from something free to something paid, like we normally do. Like we run a business, like we have this business. And I think in February, we had another fantastic challenge group. I am so grateful for having a smaller challenge group, but we shifted our messaging. Now we're going back to, hey, we're going to have this requirement essentially for you to be in our group. And some people were totally fine with that. They're lifers and they're customers. And then other people are like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. And we had this internal shift as a team, right? To be like, some of us were going to run a free group for the people that said no. We were going to run these joint challenges together. And there was a purchase requirement to be in these groups. And so we went on our merry way and kept going. But I don't know, for me personally, and through this whole time, like the business was shifting, and I appreciated the shift, but it was just trying to get comfortable with that shift, right? Because it was different. We moved back to Facebook. We were not in bod groups anymore because the engagement was so much better, and engaging with our customers and our people is what we are here to do, and help them get results and create a community of women helping each other change lives. And I was on this personal journey of doing 75 hard. And when I finished 75 hard in February, so it was the beginning of February, and decided to do this Live Hard program, do the full year Live Hard program, I started getting really disjointed with my journey and what I was preaching for Beachbody. And so for me personally, my own personal journey ended up affecting, not, unconsciously affecting my business, because I stopped feeling confident or authentic when I'm inviting people to a self-love group to, progress over perfection. Yet everything that I'm doing is about perfection, right? In my journey that I chose, everything is about perfection. If you mess up one thing, you have to start over from day one, right? And so I started getting, and I didn't have the same issue when I was doing 75 hard, did that journey. And And so I started to struggle with the messaging of, I'm inviting everybody to the self-love challenge and it's progress over perfection. And we want to preach that when you do these simple things of adding veggies, more water, better sleep, you know, you can still have fun and you can still enjoy your life and you can still do all these things. And I wasn't doing any of that. So it became hard. I don't know if it was harder. I was still inviting, but I don't know if in my messaging, in my energy, I wasn't conveying the message because I didn't actually believe it. I started to believe that because of this journey that I was on and got results, the minute I stopped that journey, I'm going to gain weight. The minute I have alcohol, I'm going to feel like shit. Like the one cocktail, I'm going to feel like absolute shit. And I'm going to erase all the hard work that I did. Like that became my reality and what was going on in my brain, which was a complete opposite of what I'm preaching to not only my team, to my challengers, the people that follow me. And it felt really, really shitty that I couldn't be open and authentic with that, when that is the most important thing to me, is to be authentic. And so for me, I have been in this real funk and rut. And again, I'm being selfish and sharing, you know, what I've been feeling, to maybe when I talk about these 5 ways to reinvigorate your business, your life, and your journey, coming from me having to reinvigorate and find the joy again in what I really do preach and then practice what I preach. I hope that you can find some maybe correlation or some inspiration to look at your own life, your own business, your own journey, and see where it might feel a little funky and where you might want to adjust things to change and start showing up even more authentically for you. I heard Laura say on the new mentorship call, she was talking, you know, like looking at my social media or looking at, and it's like, she was talking about social media and how to get followers and different things. And I also get caught up in the game of going and looking at even what Michelle's doing on her reels. I'm like, oh, I got to go do that. And I got to do this. And I got to go do something. And I got to copy that. And I'm like, but I don't. I have to remain. Even somebody messaged me today. I'm like, I'm going to get on TikTok. Are you on TikTok? I need to go over there. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I need to remain true to myself. I need to remain true to my goals, what my mission is to help moms, especially busy moms in their mid-40s, make themselves a priority and not lose themselves, their passions, their hobbies, their joy in being a mom, being the Uber driver, being the babysitter, or whatever it is for play dates and shit like that. That is my mission. And so whatever I have to do to keep that mission alive and authentic, I'm going to do. So that being said, I'm going to move on to the 5 ways to reinvigorate your life and accomplish your goals. So get ready. So step 1, what do you need to change? The definition of insanity, I love saying this, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I cannot tell you how many times I'm doing it. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and it's not working. Then why am I not changing it? I think as a coach, one of our biggest assets is that we get to fail forward. We don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. If it's not working, you try something else. If Reels isn't working for you, try something else. If Instagram isn't working for you, go back to Facebook. If Facebook isn't working for you, go back to Instagram. It doesn't have to look the same for everybody. If you're inviting 5 people a day and you're not hitting Success Club, change the freaking number. If you're not inviting anybody to coaching, you're not going to sign anybody, change it. If you're not talking about coaching, like, why doesn't anybody ever want to coach or join my team? Are you talking about coaching? Change it up. Talk about coaching. You have to look at what you're currently doing. This is really hard for me because I want to believe that I'm perfect. Just kidding, I don't. But it's really hard as an entrepreneur when my income started to go down. I would love to be like, oh, it's everybody else's fault. No, that's the thing. Like, even on our health journey, like my own health, like, oh, I want to blame my implants. I want to blame everybody else. I want to blame all the things, the reasons I can't lose weight, or I can't, have X, Y, and Z or whatever. Same with my biz. Oh, it's everybody else's fault that my income's gone down. No, it's all up to you. And that's scary as heck, that it's in your control what you are doing in this business. Every time I look at my Success Club numbers, or my weekly paycheck, or my weekly earned volume, or whatever it is, I go, the only one that's responsible for this is me. So whatever, if I'm not seeing what I want to see, I have to change it up. Truth talk, like real freaking truth, love, truth talk. If it's not what I want, I have to do something different. You have to be willing to fail forward. My biggest fear when I started was a failure at anything. I said to my husband yesterday through tears, and I don't cry, I feel like a failure because my income has dropped over the last couple months after I decided to go. And I'm being completely honest with you. This is very hard for me to be honest and say that my income has dropped, because I want to be able to portray that I've created this life and I've resigned from my job and I'm doing all these things. But that is reality of entrepreneurs. There is no baseline necessarily for income. That's why you have to prepare for those times when the income might be a little bit lower. That's why you have to continue to work consistently, not work in pockets of time, but work really hard at the beginning of the month and then quit at the end of the month, or work really hard at the end of the month and then quit at the beginning of the month. You've got to be willing to change it up. Just like in our own, I love how everything about coaching always correlates to our own health and wellness journey. I'm getting hot, I have to go. Because if it's not working, I just had a customer say to me, she's been doing all these hard at the work, 645, like all these hard programs. She's like, and she's not feeling results. She's going to start following one of the nutrition programs more to a T. She went to do bar because she's like, that's completely different than anything she's ever done. You've got to change it up. You've got to change it up when things aren't working the way that you think they should be. The only true failure is quitting altogether. That's the only true failure. I'm actually thinking of quitting the Live Hard, the second session phase or whatever of the Live Hard program, because it's not serving me right now. And again, that's super hard for me. But a friend reminded me that the only true quitting is by stopping everything that I'm doing. I'm not going to stop working out. I'm not going to stop drinking my water. I'm not going to stop doing my personal, all these things that I've learned through doing 75 Hard and the Live Hard program. I just don't have to do an hour and a half of workouts every day, or I don't have to take a cold freaking shower if I don't want to. Like, I'm not quitting. I'm just choosing what's serving me and what's not serving me. You have the same control to do that for yourself. And I feel super empowered by quitting this thing that I decided to do and put out there in the world, because it's not serving me anymore. And the last thing, if your minimum, and I said this, like if your minimum is invite one person a day or 3 people a day or 5 people a day, and it's not working, you're not hitting Success Club. Laura said it to me. You need to start inviting more. You need to, I'm like, shut the frick up. Don't tell me to do that, because I know, and I don't want you to tell me. But 10x the actions that you need to hit the goals that you want to hit. Whether it's getting people signed up with BOD, whether it's getting people in your free group, whatever it is that you want your goal to be, and you're not reaching that goal, 10x the actions that are going to get you there until you feel more confident. Step 2, wake up early. This is my self-care tip for everybody. And I know moms want to smack me in the face when I say this, but getting up earlier than everybody else in the house, whether it's to do your workout. Some of you might already be doing this. I know that most of us get up and get our shit done in the morning, and it's so freaking awesome. But getting up even 10 minutes earlier to check in with our challenge group, to send a couple invites, to be alone. Maybe you're an afternoon workouter or later in the day or whatever. So you get up 30 minutes earlier to do some of your business activities. Schedule what you're going to do. Wake up ready to go with your day. The one thing that I will say that with 75 Hard and even the last 23 days or whatever, I had to plan out my day every day in order to get 2 45-minute workouts in that were 3 hours apart, all my freaking water, like all my meals, like all that. I had to be very scheduled. I had to know what I was doing that day, how I was going to get those things in. And it super benefited me. That I take so many lessons from doing 75 Hard and doing what I've done. You don't have to get everything done. You can set a list, you can set your day. Doesn't mean you have to get everything done, but knowing what you want to accomplish is half the battle. And the new coaches, or the ones that were joined Laura's new coach mentorship, all they did for the last 4 weeks was go over the BAT. It's funny that I don't have any issues getting through the BAT a day, except for the invites and follow-ups. That was my biggest issue. Want to know why my Success Club numbers haven't been high this year? Want to know why? Because I wasn't making that a non-negotiable of inviting every single freaking day. Guess when I started doing that? When I started doing this last 30 days and I had to add extra critical tasks or whatever that you'll do every single day. Started inviting every single day. I wasn't hitting the numbers that I want. So guess what? I had to up the number that I made non-negotiable of inviting every day. But the one important thing beyond getting up early, planning your day, you also have to find time to unplug. Whether it's in the morning. I know a lot of people, and I tried this for a little while because somebody suggested this to me, is that you wake up, you do not touch your phone for the first hour of your morning. You don't touch your phone, you leave it, you do your PD, you do your meditation, you do whatever you do not touch your phone for the first hour. I couldn't do that, but maybe you can. But at some point in your day, you find time to unplug. I always was taught as a coach, you don't watch television, you don't do all these things. And I'm like, and so I believe that I was not a successful coach for a very long time because I watched television. That was something that my husband and I did together while I was building this business. We watched a show. Sometimes I would watch a show while I worked, and he did not like that. And I had to learn how to put my phone down. But you've got to have time to unplug and unwind. And if you are scheduling your day, if you are waking up a little bit early, if you are planned out, you can take the time to unplug. I'm talking to myself right now because you've already got your shit done. You can plan in that unplug time. 9 p.m. is like unplug time for me. Like that's when I go out and I meet my husband on the couch and we watch a show before we go to bed. Sorry, there's something in the chat. I want to see what it says in the chat. Oh. Step 3, reflect. This is what I am doing right now and what's caused me to want to say bye-bye to my live hard dream of finishing in a year. This is what caused me actually again in October to decide to do 75 Hard, to go all in on job 1 when I was in the test group, is I really started to reflect on my own personal journey. I wasn't seeing results that I wanted to see because I wasn't really committed to anything. I showed up, I worked out, I kind of ate well. I barely was drinking my Shakeology at that point. I had my Energize every day. I had stopped pretty much all nutritionals except for Energize. And it was in wonder, I'm like, why I wasn't getting results, why I wasn't feeling good in my own skin. And so I decided, because this is our number 1 job, is our own journey, I had to not only recommit to myself and my own journey and feeling good, but if I wanted my business to grow and soar, I had to practice what I preached. And that does not mean perfection. Yes, I know 75 Hard is more of that. I will say, people will probably say that the way I did 75 Hard and the way I did my nutrition plan and followed a nutrition plan, they'd probably say I was cheating. I don't give a fuck because it was for me, not for them. And it did what it needed to do for me. And I saw results. and I got disciplined, but I leveled the F up. And it's funny, I went on this trip this weekend in Idaho for my daughter's gymnastics meet, and we ate out every single meal. And it was funny, I watched all these other moms, and this is not a judgment in any, I was a little envious, but I watched all these other moms at every meal order pizza, chicken strips, French fries, fish and chips, whatever they wanted essentially, and have cocktails and Cokes and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting there going, what the, like, people, they can eat this, like, with, like they can eat this stuff and feel good about it. Like, and I realized then I didn't want to eat what they were eating, not because I was on the 75 hard, but because I didn't want to feel like shit. And having one meal like that is not going to it might make you feel bad in the moment. It's not going to, lose all your results and do all the things. But I was going to feel like shit if I ate like that all weekend. I ate salads all weekend, like literally ate salads and had a little personal pan pizza that I didn't even eat at all. And actually the chicken sandwich I had with a side salad, the brioche bun got me. I felt like absolute shit. And I ate because I've been eating so well that my body was like, what are you doing? We don't want that. But I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't committed to myself and my own journey the last 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. So I really want you to reflect. If you are struggling with getting people to join you, if you feel like you are not being authentic or like me or whatever it is, I really want you to reflect on what your journey currently looks like. It's not about being perfect. It's not about that. But I will say that I thought I was eating well before I started 75 hard. I was not. And now I can truly say I still go out and I still eat out and I enjoy my meals. I have enjoyed myself, and I am still eating well and I feel amazing, but I am not perfect. Is there an area of your journey you can level up? Maybe your food and your workouts are on par. Are you sharing that journey? It's funny, I know some people who are like killing it on their journey and I never see it on social media. And I'm like, how is anybody going to know what you're doing? It's not, the before and afters are great. But if they don't know, I remember being one of those people that would see those before and after, I'm like, they probably had to eat baked chicken and kale for 8 months to look like that. And I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. So they want to see, what are you doing from point A to point B? I was very upfront with what I was doing to get my results from 75 hard. Everybody knew what I was doing. I also did a ton of stretching, a ton of yoga, a ton of flexibility, a ton of slow walks. Like, I didn't go overboard because, again, I didn't want all of that results to be from only because I did 75 hard and then they would all go away when I was done. That was my brain, because that's how my brain thinks, and I'm crazy and whatever. But look at your personal journey. Where can you level up? And I'm going to ask you maybe to answer this in a little bit. Are you checking in with your challengers? This is somewhere that I can definitely level up. I get people into challenge groups and then I'm like, oh, they're getting help. They're getting support in this challenge group. And then I forget to personally check in with them and make sure that I can't help them more one-on-one. That is what we are here to do. Breathe belief into these people before they believe it in themselves. It's a crazy hard job. I was telling my husband, like, this is why it's so hard. Like, I have to breathe belief into people before they believe in themselves. That's hard. But it's so rewarding because somebody did that for me. You guys did that for me before I even believed where I could be right now. We get to do that for other people. So where can you level up in your own journey? Step number 4, go all in. And I used to have a super issue with going all in. Like, I used to use this term and I'd be like, I'm going all in. And the old me believed that going all in was perfection. That meant you had no French fry, you had no tortilla chip, you had no coffee with creamer. Ooh, you only follow the nutrition plan to a T. And if you went off of that, you failed. And then I would stop doing whatever. And I always thought about going all in on an eating plan. See how I went to food there? It doesn't even necessarily mean on food, but I always go to food because that's what I thought. I thought I had to go all in to be successful in my own health journey. But this is so much more than going all in on your own health journey. This is about your business, about your happiness, about your wellness, about your fulfillment. Where can you go all in? What is optional versus non-negotiable? And the best part, it's all unique to each individual coach. My non-negotiable is Success Club every single month. Even if I have to call Aunt Sarah and make her freaking buy a pack, I will never not hit Success Club. That is a non-negotiable for me. It doesn't have to be for you. We all get to have different goals. What happens if you don't show up for work? So now we're going to talk about what happens if you don't show up for your day job? What happens if you decide not to be a mom or a wife or a significant other or a friend, whatever? Like, you just decide you're not going to show up. And let me say, there should be days you don't have to show up for work or to be a mom. We need breaks too. But if you did that on a regular basis, what would happen at your job, to your family, to your house, if you didn't show up consistently? Going all in for you does not have to be on a nutrition plan, does not have to be in a workout program, but what does going all in look like for you? For me, going all in right now is being completely authentic with my thoughts, feelings, my journey, and sharing that, and then actually trying to figure out to believe once and for all that I can live a sustainable lifestyle by eating well, moving my body, having fun when I want to, not just because I think I should or whatever. That is my all in right now, which is why I'm choosing to stop doing the 75 hard road. Because I don't feel like I was all in. I don't feel like I was all in on it anymore. And if you're not all in, you're all out. But you don't have to be all in on every aspect of your life. Number 5, mindset. I shared in our SC thread today a podcast that I listened to on my walk today, and this is where I got the not idea for this call, because I already had these slides. I already knew what I wanted to talk about, but where it really sunk in for me why I needed to readjust my journey, because I have started to believe, and my mindset was there, that I cannot be successful like I preach to everybody else, my team, my customers. I started to believe that it's not true for me, that I cannot live a healthy, sustainable lifestyle of fun, cocktails every once in a while, treat meals every once in a while. Started to believe that. So how could I go out and preach to other people that it's true for them, but not for me? Because I wasn't living it. I wasn't living in that truth that I was telling people they could do. And you can tell me that you want to be a diamond coach. You can tell me that you want to lose 25 pounds. And I'm saying you as anybody. You can tell me that you want to be a Success Club 50 next month. But if you don't believe that it's possible, and then are willing to take the massive action, the scary freaking action, to do the things that are going to get you there, you might as well not even say it out loud. Your mindset controls everything that you do. I've showed up for my workouts every single day. My mindset sucks, so my workout sucks. But I showed up, and a lot of times that's better than doing nothing. My mindset about money over the last several months, because my income has gone down, all I've stressed about is money. My mindset is all over the place about money. I read this freaking book, Rich as Fuck, because I'm like, I have to get my mind right about my finances. Everything is controlled by our minds and our thoughts. I read this whole damn book and there was homework at the end of every chapter and I didn't do any of it. None of the homework. I got to the final chapter today and I was like, I'm going to do the final homework. Have I done it yet? No. What's the point of doing the work if I'm not going to take, or reading the book if I'm not going to take the actions? We started for our challengers, tribe mates, whatever you want to call them, these affirmations. We've started sharing the importance of PD. We have to be doing these things as well. And I'm talking to myself. Laura said it every week in her new coach mentorship. You are the CEO of your own freaking business. And as terrifying as that is for me in this stage of my life, when I am a full-time entrepreneur sitting with, I have no safety net. I have, everything is on my shoulders. It's also super freaking exciting. I don't have anybody telling me what I can't do, when I can't do it. I get to decide. You have to be confident and act confident. There was a reel that was going around. It was like something about, like, how do you fake it till you make it, or type thing. And I used to truly believe in that, fake it till you make it. And I unfortunately did that for most of my life. And I got really good at faking it and not really feeling it and living it. And my word, and Laura said this to me the other day, my word is joy for the year. She's like, it's not a an accident that you chose joy. And I'm going to be honest, for the last couple months, I'm having a hard time finding joy. There's been obviously a lot of things going on in my life and personally, and I want to feel that joy. I want to be joy. I want to exude that all the time. I don't want to fake it. I don't want to pretend. And I want people to want to join me and join us because of not only the community that we exude, that we have created, but who we are and the message that we have to share. So in the chat, I'm going to challenge you right now. And never mind, I'm not even going to give you any outs. In the chat, tell us why you are showing up for this. What do you want to accomplish in life? And it can be cliff notes. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, but in this business, what are you going to change starting now? And it's not necessarily on your business. It doesn't have to be about business. This is so much more than that. What are you re-energizing or going all in starting tomorrow? What time? This is a huge one for me because I know you guys have been rocking the virtual gym and I need to get with it. What time is your alarm set tomorrow? What time are we showing up on the virtual gym? I'm sure there's multiple times. Because I want to be there with you and I want to show up for you and show up for myself. I don't see any right. See how hot I got? Just kept getting hotter.
I'm cooking. My alarm, I set it every day for 5 o'clock and I'm workout in the gym at 5:45 a.m. Mountain Time.
I'll see you tomorrow, Lori.
And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to be debt free, and it fills my heart to help other people take care of them.
Thanks for being the starter. I don't know. Thanks, Lori.
And I love challenging myself, because if you don't learn and grow, you're just gonna fall over and not have a life. You gotta challenge yourself and push yourself. And that's what this does for me. I'm very disappointed I didn't hit Success Club, but it's sometimes people just say no, and
Yep.
that happened a lot. So
Yep. Okay, are there anybody on the Pacific Coast that can work out with me? Because I ain't getting up that early. Yeah, Merritt, when you working out?
I can be on as early as 7 or earlier if you want, or later, doesn't matter, anytime really.
7's perfect.
What time are you or were you thinking, oh, did you say 7?
Yeah,
Okay, I can do that because I work late tomorrow.
I get up at 6, so I normally get up at 6. Sandy, so I actually wanted to say something about getting out and interacting. So one of my big shifts this year with coaching is I want to shift back to in-person events, whether it's with coaches or customers or I'm gonna and obviously in my local area. I have a big push to build a local team so that I can have people that I'm working with in person, like Merritt and Meredith and Amy. And now Amy's brought all these people on. Like I was on a call with her last night with 3 other coaches that she's brought on. Like that's 4 people in the last month that are in my local area that I now can connect with. So I'm huge on getting out and getting in person and being and connecting in person because I miss that and I need that. So I'm right there with you. Yep. I love it. I want something that is my own. Sorry, I'm writing these things down as my face continues to get redder. Okay, so I'm working out at 7 a.m. Anybody else? And you don't have to share. It's I don't want to, I'm not that person. I do really want you, like, nobody shared if they're, and you don't have to, but if you want to, what they're willing to, oh yeah, sorry, Rebecca, I know you're here. I'm just saying like, I wanted it to grow and it's slowly growing. Like, remember, I think I shared that with you at Super Saturday. Like I want a big local team and you're all gonna freaking be at April 1. So we're gonna have like triple or quadruple the people there. But is there anything that you feel like you could do differently in any part of your life journey, something that you have reflected on, or that you want to show up differently or level up?
Are you asking me? Or are you
No,
just asking
anybody.
in general? Oh,
Generally.
I just hopped on, so I'm like kind of lost at where we're going, but I think I got the gist of it. I know for me, it's just be more consistent, and I feel like I finally grasped the authentically sharing. I really feel like I'm finding my niche. Finally, I feel like I've been swimming. And I feel like now is just being more comfortable with being uncomfortably inviting people.
And I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna say, be consistent with what? Because we got
with inviting, being consistent with inviting.
Okay.
And making the business, making the IPAs, right? Is that right? IPAs,
Yep.
a priority.
Yeah.
And just being consistent in that, because I think I have everything else down. Everything else is down. It's just making those IPAs a priority. And I feel like I'm getting there, but still need to be held accountable for it. So.
Because I think, yeah, and I think, and then I'm not picking on you. I'm thinking just the word consistent, because you said like that. I'm like, I want to be consistent. I want to be. I was consistent at showing up for my workouts every day, but they were shit. Or then I wasn't consistent in my nutrition or whatever. Like, so the word consistent, we can be consistently not showing up for ourselves every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't mean, and this is not towards you. I'm just saying like that's why I asked you to specify what you're going to be consistent at, because so many times we're consistent at not showing up for our business, ourselves, or whatever it is. So we got to get really specific.
I think that's a good point. That is a good point, and to narrow it down.
Yep.
Yes.
And
No,
not and try not to be consistent at everything. Because if you're trying to be consistent at everything, you might not be consistent at anything. Because it becomes too much. Laura, I can't believe how quiet you are.
Because I'm refreshing. I'm cleansing right now.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I had something I was gonna say, but there's like kids everywhere.
Oh, okay. So
I'm going to just say one thing. Just a second, honey. I'm on a call. Just a minute. Um, I think what you shared tonight was just really, really incredible. And I think I can't speak for anybody else, but I know for myself that I put everybody mostly ahead of me, and I need to do a better job. It's going to make me cry of taking care of me and putting me and asking for help. So
Yep. And I want to add to this because I think this is what my husband's gone, so I can say this. Like he made a comment one day, like, you know, you're all into this self-care and it's all about you, you know, and so sometimes when people aren't on this self-care journey or aren't into taking care of themselves and putting themselves first, they don't really understand, and or they can see you doing these things as being selfish or whatever. And so it feels hard to ask for help when you're not like, I work out every day. I take time in the morning for myself. So it's like, oh, I do all this stuff for myself. So I shouldn't ask for help from others when I actually need help. Does that make sense? Like, and so I feel like, yeah, Lori works out. She's taking care of herself, but that doesn't mean Lori doesn't need help with daily life things. It doesn't mean that we don't, like, if I need my husband to take my daughter, to gym. It's not his kid. It's not, but I need help. Like, I have a really hard time asking for help. And I think people think that because I do all this self-care and I have all this time to myself, should I need help? I should be all enlightened and all, happy and everything. No, that just is extra. Like, I still need help and assistance. And so I think that's really, really awesome that you recognize that, Lori. Because just because you work out and read personal development doesn't mean that your life is sunshine and rainbows. So we just can handle when it's not so sunshine and rainbows because we do those things for ourselves better, hopefully. All right.
Well, I just wanted to say one thing. I joined the Diamond Bet with Kelly, and I put a couple bets in there, and for Josh's business center and my second business center. And I made a goal this year to get the 2-star diamond bonus every quarter. So I went for it, right? And I hit this, and then I had to hit Success Club and Josh's business center to like get the thing in the bet, whatever. I feel like this is too many details, but what I'm trying to say is that last night I was tired and I could have pushed a lot harder than I did. Push a little bit. Josh was like, you can push. He was so funny. But not in a bad way. Like, he just knows that I care about, like, he didn't want me to wake up in the morning being sad about it. So, but anyways, so I kind of chose not to. I did a couple Hail Mary type things. It didn't quite work out, whatever. And I was really at peace with it. And I got to tell you, and I got to hold the 2-star. I plan on holding the 2-star, whatever. I let go of like a part of something. But, I think so much of this journey that we're on is about having these goals and driving ourselves forward. And it's also the ability, like Lori said, that's really hard to not hit Success Club when you were on a big streak too, I think. If I remember right, like it's not easy. And I know there's other people in this team that I've had personal conversations with about a goal that they're reaching for and they're not getting. And it's like a gut punch, right? But I think that we set ourselves at a better position to manage life because this business gives us the opportunity to manage success and struggle. And, I don't know, I not hitting Success Club in Josh's business center in the scope of my life is a very small thing, but it still gives me a little bit of opportunity to grow in some way. you know, like, and I think setting these goals and being brave enough to set goals is something that most of the population, I don't believe, does very, at least not as consistently as we do, or with the passion we do. But perhaps there's more personal growth that comes through sometimes not hitting your goals too. So I'm really proud of this group because I don't hear people say they can't do it very often.
Yep.
We say we can. Sometimes we're saying we can before we believe it. And I think that's what Kelly was talking about earlier. You have to actually believe it, right? If that's not in sync, it's a problem. But it's a gift. I have nowhere else in my life where I am surrounded with people making goals and trying to be better people. So, thank you for all the encouragement all of you give me all the time. It's really cool. So
It's really
thank you, Kelly.
exhausting. It's really exhausting trying to be a better person, I swear. Why do I sometimes just want to be an asshole? Like, I think it's easier to be an asshole.
Right. And thank you. I will echo what Lori said. Like, it's so hard to be transparent about the thing that makes you feel like you're fake or whatever, or lying, or I forget what you said, inauthentic, I think is what you said. But like, I feel that way when I'm struggling with my health journey. I really struggle to show up as a coach when I'm struggling on my health journey. And so I feel like what you're saying on that, the income piece for you right now, like, I can only imagine how challenging it is to be transparent about that. Even though I have all the confidence in the world, that's not going to be where you live. Like, I know this is a blip for you, but it's hard. And so thank you. You deserve an award for your authenticity tonight.
Can you pay me in an award? Just kidding. Pay me cash as my award. Just kidding.
Invite more people.
You keep saying that. Oh, she just keeps saying that. Invite more people. I guess you have to invite 100 today, and I want to smack her. Anyway, so I'm gonna get a picture because Lori hasn't done this yet, or whatever she does. And then that what it is? That, see, I know sign language. Okay, let's get it. We're gonna get a boomerang with all these black boxes. Oh, who just left? Somebody just left right when I was gonna take a picture. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So I will.
Did you get me in there?
Well, no, you're a black
Just
box.
kidding. I don't know what is up with my computer. I was just being a smart ass.
Oh, so I will let you know when we will get Venmo or PayPal. Oh, both. You can send me money to both, Lori. I'm just kidding. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'll let you know when we're gonna have Christina on. We'll get that going. We also will have a surprise guest coming soon. I won't tell you, one of the body instructors is going to do a team call for us. So I think you'll know who it is, but if you've done body, if you haven't, you better get on there and start figuring out who we got on. So super, super fun. There will not be a team call, most likely, probably maybe a power hour the Tuesday the 22nd. I'll go create events for the rest of the month when I have dates figured out for the other speakers, but because we will be, like, half of us in here will be flying off to Punta Cana, so maybe just like a power hour, and hopefully Kisa will lead that, or somebody else that wants to lead that is not going. But I will get that all in.
You've been rubbing it in nonstop since
I haven't.
canceled
Laura
my
has.
trip.
I have not. Laura has. That is Laura. That
Just
is
nonstop. They're like, I can't believe you can't.
Oh, you guys
not
wait till
me.
you see what Kelly made us buy. You just wait.
That's true. Kisa, it's a good thing Kisa's not going. She wouldn't have wore that bathing suit. She would have told me to F off. So yeah. Anyway.
Kisa would look just fine in that.
Oh, she'd look amazing, but she'd still tell me to F off. And that
Well,
My-
she'd wear it.
I don't think
I
she would.
showed my neighbor my pictures today. I said, look at what I'm doing for my friend. Hey, I do want to throw in real quick. Project 1 is done. It is in the guides section of our team page. That is where you can start every new coach. It is a 4-week done for you training to start a new coach. You do not have to overthink anything. It is so simplistic. Boom. Get your coaches
already
point.
tagged all of Amy's new coaches in it and talked to him about it last night. So yeah.
Perfect.
Love you guys. Thank you for Lisa, that would be a great place.
Lisa's got a brand new coach, Project
Oh.
One.
Oh, I think she already tagged her. She tagged somebody somewhere. I don't
Did
remember.
she?
We talked this morning at like 5 a.m., Lisa and I.
Y'all East Coasters.
I know. All right, ladies, love you all. Have a wonderful night and we'll talk soon.
Bye.
Oh, I forgot to, oh well.
What were you going to say?
Well, I forgot to even mention the challenge group, like getting people,
Oh.
we have 1 week to get people in the chat. It's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to.
People should know,
Yeah.
right?
Bye.